Well, we made it to Hanweir, finally. This is a rather interesting place. I do not think I've seen guards in that kind of armor before, but then again, I didn't used to go to a lot of towns like I have in the last year. Along the way, I was able to finally examine the blood from the bat creature and was able to deduce that it was formerly human. I should have not waited as long as I did to look at it myself, because then maybe Lorelei would have been able to help, but I don't think it's right to ask that of her, really. But I don't know what's going on. There's definitely things afoot. We went to the post office together. She was asking about a town that I believe is where she was originally from. And I decided to retrieve the letter that I had written, which had not been delivered at all. And burned it because, hell, it'd just be easier that way. There are so many things going on in my head that I don't know what to do about it. And now I guess I'm going to go with Cillian to speak with people. I'm not really sure what information he expects to gain from it. Also, was he giving me a sultry glass? Like, what even was going on? I'm thinking about what Lorelei had said in the conversation we had, and I swear, if he overheard anything, or we talked about this, and not having his little ghostly people eavesdrop on people's conversations. Ugh. But I have no idea where Sir Lane is. I assume he's obviously in Stensia or went to find Repellum. But I have requested that should Sir Lane not give me information in time regarding any of, or really the one curse for Cillian, maybe Repellum could figure something out, since he is of high intellect and engages in a lot of reading. Well, into the night we go.
I thought things, meeting the rest of the group again would be, worse. Thought they would freak out or, be horrified of what I've turned into. I mean, I don't even understand myself what all of this means. I mean, I myself don't know how to properly react to this, and realizing I I don't want to say she was nice. She wasn't mad, or she didn't push me away or try to, I don't know, sick the cathars on me or anything like that. She actually gave me some of her blood. I don't know. Maybe somehow all of this is gonna turn out at least a little bit alright. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't need to leave. Maybe I can, keep traveling. I don't know how Acrio will react. I mean, he's church. And with me being a vampire, I don't think he's gonna be exactly thrilled. Maybe he'll, Rita's probably trying to kill me or something. She's gonna be mad or say I should leave. I'm just glad that someone besides Cillian didn't push me away.
Cillian, you're rattled around back and forth in the back of this cart, this wagon full of supplies, materials, goods being shipped. The suspension is improperly done. It's not the way the Vistani would have pristinely crafted carts for traveling. It's covered, but you think that's more for secrecy than shelter, as you are keeping a good eye on this Van Eyck that you're transporting, or at least a copy of it, making sure it's not damaged as you're rattled about over the breakneck ride. It seems they're traveling faster, these merchants, on their way to Lambholt. Supposedly they have some deal with lumberjacks in Lambholt, and they had stopped early the night before and wouldn't exactly say why. Gotten up early, and now they are traveling at a questionably fast pace through the morning and the afternoon.
I speak to Riken. What the fuck is wrong with them? I'm gonna break a leg in here.
They're gonna tear up the merchandise too. I'm surprised they have any of their own left.
Yeah, I'm more important, okay?
But worth a lot less. Besides,
Fortunately.
damage to you could be repaired a little more easily.
Or turn into a handsome scar.
Chicks do dig that.
And I know, I drew one time.
Yeah, that was my idea.
Nah.
Credit where due.
Well, I appreciate. These guys should slow the fuck down. This thing's gonna break.
There's a window in this cart, and you catch sight of something. Even though it's daylight, the Keswick forest is always dark. The trees grow incredibly tall in places, blocking out nearly the sun, but there's this glint of light through the window, and you're not sure if it's the sunlight filtering through the trees or something else.
Oh, I'm immediately curious. I turn, I place the painting a little more securely, and then I turn to look.
You glance through this little window pane of warped glass. Your surprise hasn't cracked at the insane speed that they are barreling down this trail. You can see through the trunks of the trees and the branches and the low-growing foliage this purplish, orangish light to your south. It would almost look like sunlight or sunset through the trees, but from the wrong direction.
That's not where the sun comes up, right? I'm not a moron?
Just don't keep track of that thing, sort of thing anymore.
Is there like a little slit/door where I could talk to the person writing?
Sure.
I knock on it. Yo, was that to our left?
You slap the reins again, keep the horses moving quickly. Look
You
back here.
have to do that! I am dying over here!
We do. Gotta get through this quickly. That's Hollow Hinge.
Elaborate?
Don't tell me you haven't heard of Hollow Hinge.
Well, I'm worldly, but
You haven't been through Keswick, I guess. What's left of Avonbrook? The whole city's gone. It's just a ring of the outskirts of the building and that hell glow. It's been like that for months now.
There's something strangely inviting about it. It scares me.
That's why we have to keep moving. There's still the Mondronin in these woods. They still linger here.
Well, just look out for rocks, alright? I've got a very important cargo over here.
We've all got important cargo, and I'm not dying for it.
Oh, fucking merchants. I just sort of lay my hand against the small creek through which I can see the pretty light, and I get absorbed in it for a moment.
And there is something alluring about it, like looking into a sunset that's just almost shifting more quickly than the skies do between these deep vermilions, purples, and oranges between the trees.
You'll keep me safe, right, I reckon? Don't make me do anything stupid.
That calls for it. There's a lot of them out there. Dead or restless.
I've been trying to ignore them.
Try harder.
Well, it's hard when you're brushing past corpses being eaten.
In the present, you lead Amrita through the streets of Hanweir with this similar colors of sunset behind you to the west as you're making your way toward the riverfront area and the tavern known as the River's Rush.
Oh, hold! So I sneak. I press myself against the wall.
Not quite sundown, so curfew is not exactly enforced in the moment, but you do know it's best maybe not to be seen where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's looking about to see if there are any guards or see if she can hear anything other than themselves at all.
You can make a perception check and also roll a d10, please.
Well, if roll 20 will... Oh, shit. All right. Oh, shit. I'm fucking scared. Away.
Maybe it's the excitement and anticipation that Cillian has built up in this moment with this movement through the streets, but your ears are on high alert. You're catching the sounds of everything. People talking, people whispering, guards marching, halberdiers with their polearm weapons, casting these long shadows down the street. You are then distracted by this coughing fit, this wheezing, hacking. And it's not far away in one of the alleys. I need both of you to make Constitution saving throws, please.
Make one for me.
Yes.
You're gonna get the lurgy.
Oh my god. Cillian just rolled a natural 1.
Oh no.
You
Do you
roll a
have-
d4 for me, please.
You have inspiration if you would like to spend it. That's up to you.
Oh, that is a hard question. Let's
You
do
want
it.
to catch fantasy COVID?
I mean, Cillian doesn't really care about illnesses, but this is more instinct than choice, so I think I'll do inspiration.
There was another nat
But
one.
do those faces mean? I don't like not seeing this.
There was another nat one.
Another no one.
Die.
Would you roll a d4 for me, please, Jake?
Apparently, yes.
What
Don't
the
roll
fuck?
a 3, please. It will be very inconvenient.
No.
It's a 3.
What is
This is why you should never let the DM roll for you. So, Cillian, you are also going to hear this coughing and sickening sound coming from the alley near you. And normally you wouldn't be too fazed by the idea of, sickness or people who are ill. You've never really had an issue with that, but just the way everyone's been talking about this pox, this weeping pox, the way that Dr. Mueller spoke of it, the way Acrio has been at least tangentially preparing if they make their way toward Thraben, the idea of how quickly deadly it can be sends a shockwave through you as you're just bitten with fear about the possibility of even coming near contact with somebody like that. How do you react to it?
You stay away from me! Take your cough and take it to the tents. You don't belong here.
Amrita, you can hear movement down that alley. You're not sure if the person is just shifting or getting up to go, if they've even really paid much attention to Cillian. But he definitely seems shaken.
I'm taking steps backwards, averting my gaze until my back hits the wall. And even through my fear, I am suddenly held over the chasm Lorelei held me over. And I force myself to look at Amrita's eyes.
I want to go back. Do you want to go back to the tavern? Or not the tavern, but the Traveler's Inn? I mean, are you okay? Clearly you're not.
It'll fade. It'll fade. It was time, and and he kind of sinks against her. Sort of a hug, but mostly it's more that she catches me than an actual hug.
Yes.
I don't want to die.
Shh. I have another friend that might know information. I sent him a letter telling him about both of your curses, Cillian. The one I actually mistook you for. He might, if Sir Lane doesn't respond back in time, he might be able to do something. Repel him. That's his name.
You thought I was him. When you were dying, you thought I was... You called me by that name. And I saw it written in your letter. Can you help me?
He might be able to. He was formerly a scribe in a church, if I remember correctly. He's very knowledgeable. Between him and Sir Lane, they both have an abundant amount. It gets lower down to where they're a little bit more eye level. Puts both hands on the side of his face. It will be fine. But we can go back. I don't really know what you hope to gain with going to get information, but...
Right. It's faded. I remove myself and take a step back. No, we need to do this. I sort of have a debt that I gave away to Myra, and we're trying to solve that today.
Does this have anything to do with the one time when we were on our way to Braylet, and when you had said that you could have almost been one of those workers in chains?
Oh yeah, I did plenty of legal shit. Yeah, we're gonna meet criminals. And I sort of need a shot before we go, but I won't. How is the sun doing?
Getting pretty low.
Right, well, we need to move. This is the address. It's supposed to be by the river or something.
We don't have to cross the river, right?
No. It's a bar. It should be easily accessible. Would you guide me for a moment? I need to order my thoughts.
Just take my arm, it'll be fine.
Can I have you roll I'm going to have you roll percentile real quick, Cillian. Okay. You're good.
And I let myself be guided through him.
And you are fairly close to begin with, so it's not difficult for Amrita. Though you're not familiar with these streets or the specific address, you know which direction to go. The sound of the coursing water leading you to this tavern.
I will need to play myself up a bit. I hope you don't mind.
It's not what you always do to get information.
Truth to that, yeah.
Cillian, you do notice where you had made this mark, these few symbols in Thieves' Cant. There is a reply written in black ink. These symbols and little tick marks that you recognize to effectively mean something along the lines of "till the well runs dry."
Well, they're here. Part of me hoped they wouldn't be. But well, the winged ink is where corruption is, and this place is not free. Come on.
All right.
I'm gonna walk towards the address I was given.
Yep,
We gotta
which
follow
is
them.
the River's Rush, fairly innocuous looking tavern in the waterfront district, maybe a block or two from the wall that separates the docks from the town proper. Keep everyone safe and protected from the things that might crawl their way out of the water. And you realize that you're getting there just at what you would believe to be sundown. There's a bit of strange movement as you're moving in. There are several guards, military members of the Handweir Constabulary, that are inside, but they all look at each other, nod, get up, collect themselves their weapons, pay their tabs, make their way out. There's a faint music from a piano, though you're not quite sure where it's coming from because you can't see one. But as the guards effectively all leave, there's this quiet stillness as a number of the patrons remain. Good number of people do get up and leave as well, as it is getting close to curfew, but several others sit, and they sit from their mugs, just side-eyeing the guards as they go. The doors close. You're not 100% sure if you heard a latch or if it was just the sound of it clicking closed. But the room atmosphere quickly changes. There's this sound, when a pianist will go from one end of the keys to the next, just down one side. You hear, and then these curtains open up to what is very obviously a stage. You can see the man playing this stand-up piano now, and cuts into a more lively tune. And everybody kind of comes awake at the same moment. The sun disappears behind the horizon. There are no torches on the streets, just small firelights within this tavern. Everything is dark, but very much alive.
Oh, this is the place to be. Perfect. For now, at this moment, are we inside yet, or looking through a window? Okay.
You are definitely inside, and a barmaid will come by asking if there's anything she can get you to drink. You can see men pulling out packs of cards and starting shuffling them on the tables, coin being tossed around.
As she walks up, I'll say, I'll take a beer. Nothing too complicated. Till the well runs dry. And I'll choose a table.
You'll say, on tap then.
Sure, let's spend a little tonight.
And for the lady?
Not really thirsty.
Sure about that.
Fine. Whatever he's having.
I'm having the best there is, so.
She won't even write anything down. She just immediately goes to the bar and starts pulling out these mugs, and you can see her pull the tap on these barrels, and this frothy beer starts to fill them up. There are a number of other what you had seen to be some of the barmaids disappear for a moment, and they all reappear in these more colorful gowns now. And they're moving through the crowd a little bit, but when the pianist changes tunes, they make their way to the stage, and you can see they're also performers. Good number of men are like clapping along to the tune, paying attention to the performance more than anything else, while others are gambling. How does Amrita react when you can see these gals in their dancing uniforms start doing like high kicks and the can thing where it's like very briefly like you could see their undergarments?
I imagine she doesn't care, but she's just sitting there just like more focused on the piano. Like she disregards them, but like watches the piano just tapping her finger to the sound of it instead.
Mm-hmm. And the man playing it has this cigarette between his lips, tricorn hat, but like tipped forward, vest undone.
Why do they not get tangled in that cloth?
In practice, I do not miss Stanzia. Take a seat, throw my legs on the table.
Well, at least
Your
in heaven
drinks-
you can also see the stars.
Which is true if you are sitting in one of the like window booths. You can look out through that warped paneled glass and see up in the sky. It's a clear night, the moon as it is waning, and little pinpoints of stars. Hard to make out constellations or anything from this angle with the glass being not perfectly smooth. Everything's a little warbled, but you can still get that impression of light outside. And Amrita, as you're focused on that, Cillian, you feel these hands on your shoulders, just like sliding up behind you into a grip. Well. Isn't this the last person I expected to see?
Not sad to see me, I hope.
Quite the opposite. And the figure will slide around the side of the table. Amrita, you hear this, look over, see this thin, almost like rail-thin individual, long black hair, white gold, almost maybe platinum jewelry rings, very gaudy with his black leather armor, these fingerless gloves, and oddly enough, what you would initially think to be claws, Amrita, but quickly realize that he's just got like long overgrown fingernails that he's painted black, gothy.
She adjusts her own gloves and just holds the beer close, takes a sip of it.
Cillian, you recognize this tattoo that he has on his arms, what looks to be like a serpent, scaled, coiling around the arm, and where his shirt is open, you can see it just a little bit and almost are forced to imagine this snake coiling up one arm across his chest and then down the other. You didn't work too closely with this individual, but you knew the man known as Ballestero Cloud.
I'm not disturbed at all. Ugh.
I'm just imagining Antoni go.
He will quickly grab one of the chairs from a table behind him, spin it, put it in front of yours, and just sit across it. This is interesting.
Taro. Am I glad it's you?
You should be glad it's me. Some of the others were not so happy to find out.
Are you suggesting that what happened is my fault?
No. Some of them thought you was dead.
Well, I've been close a couple of times, but no, I'm still around.
Isn't that always the most exciting?
It's been fun.
So what
This is Amrita.
brings you and Amrita to Enwia?
Ooh, well, a lot of different things. What brings me to you is a lot more exciting, I think.
How to tell?
Well, first, I need to get the record straight. Horse's contact was a bust. He was in with fucking vampires, took the merchandise, and fucked off with it. Probably to his little masters. Now, I'll do a lot. What I won't do is break into a vampire's estate.
I'm assuming this is a bit of deception.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and roll that. With a 16, he leans back. He's got the chair turned around, so he's like pushing himself away from it. Fingers up on the back, drumming his fingernails. You don't have to explain to old Bannister. Thing is, I'm actually out of the winged ink. Got a bit. You haven't heard, have you? You wouldn't have.
No.
Not
Been
if you
away
haven't
for a
been
bit.
back to Nephalia. The ink's been bought out. Gone under, I'd say. There's this bit of a syndicate. The Ebon Syndicate, they call it. Taking over a lot of the smaller operations. Eating them up. Bit too corporatized for old Bannister. Got myself out and still maintain some of the old contacts. But nothing official. I can pass along a word or two if you need me to.
I never imagined Horace would bend a knee to anyone.
Did come easy.
What a fucking pussy.
That's what I said.
Well, good to know that we're both out then. I came into here willing to work off a debt. Glad that's off my shoulders. Fucking idiots.
I wouldn't poke my nose around cellar quite yet. But you don't know Bannister a thing. Except maybe a round of whatever he was drinking.
Yeah, sure.
And a bit more of an introduction to the lovely, what was it again?
Rita's just fine.
Amrita's just fine, alright.
He's more than just fine. I found friends. I know. Sounds impossible, but yeah. Found a crew. We're doing terrifying shit. And I thought I was walking into a lion's den, not meeting the most wonderful person of the Winged Ink.
Well, I do try.
So I brought along someone with a sharp edge, you know? That if a knife
You like
were to be
sharp
drawn
edges,
to...
do you? I will keep that in mind.
Talented, to say the least.
Mm.
Listen, well, I'm working on a little project. I've not only come to pay my debts, I've come to create some more. Have you ever heard of the Veil?
Veil. In what context, mind?
Well, in all of them, we involuntarily aided them, and I feel a bit pissed off.
The Veil. Veil. It rings a bell. Some cultish type, yeah? Demon worshippers, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Heard about some to do out in Stinsia. Bravelet, was it? Popped up for a minute.
That news has traveled here.
News travels fast when you know where to listen. Ear to the ground and whatnot.
It's always creepy how much you knew, you asshole. One time you're gonna give me at least one of your contacts.
We'll see.
I have a lot to trade. That was a lie. I have fuck all.
Well, maybe we can change that in the not too distant future. But Veil, what's your interest? If you don't mind my asking. Ear to the ground and whatnot.
Could I, Jake, either do a history or insight check into what's up with this dude?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, either one would yield probably a little different results. You have +5 in history and only 1 in insight, so your choice.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll take the history. I'm just like, was he the kind to stab you in the back? Did he enjoy the game for the game or for the results?
Sure.
That kind of stuff.
Can Amrita listen out while they're talking to make sure no one's eavesdropping on the conversation?
Sure. You have a advantage on perception checks related to hearing, so you can do that.
Cool.
It is rather noisy and raucous in here at this point, Amrita. It's hard to know for sure. People seem distracted or preoccupied, but it's hard to know if they might be keeping their ears open. Cillian with a 22 in history. As I said, you never really worked directly with Bannister. He seems to be more of the information broker. He was the guy who set up jobs, found interesting paintings or sculptures that could be nicked relatively easily, or if they were a challenge, how you might get around doing that. He was 100% the type who would stab someone in the back if he didn't like work closely with them. If he wasn't part of the job, he would quickly slip away and do whatever. But he was fairly loyal to the Wingeding for a while, the time that you were there. But the fact that he's now seems to be, at least he claims to be, not cooperating with the current leadership above Horus. So that might also give you a bit of an indication.
Mm-hmm. Good to know. I'll say they told us a story. Talks about something that had gotten past our control and they needed help to rein it in. We did, because Braylid was at stake. And trust me, I've turned into a hero. People have clapped for me. It's quite the change, especially for Vistani. We succeeded with the help of some angels, literally multiple.
Oh, interesting.
Whatever they did, it didn't sit right. They had ulterior motives, I'm sure you know a lot about that.
I don't know exactly what you're accusing old Ballester of, but maybe
Nothing
I don't know
specific.
By the way,
You seem to...
this is Swim. We're getting shots next. They have a potato vodka. Knock your socks off.
I'll trust your taste, though I tend to be into the sweeter stuff a little more.
Gavini's not unknown for their selection of wines, and we're specifically does a lot of trade through the vineyards. Maybe we'll finish the night off something a little sugary.
I'll take that offer. The point is, I'm trying to be on their tail and I'm failing. I need a leg up. Any.
Cults are so uninformative, too secretive for my tastes. But I did hear a little bit that might interest you, if it's information you're after.
Always. What's the price?
Play me for it. What's your preference? Cards, dice, anything exciting?
Oh, my
No
preference is
blood sport
cards.
just yet. I haven't had any real drinks yet.
Do know what you're stepping into, dear sir. I have been
Maybe
called
I've
many
heard.
things.
Would the lady be joining us?
Not really one for games all that often. I might not even know how to play.
Too bad. A good luck, gentlemen.
Cillian thinks back to a moment just a second ago. Yeah, thank you, struck gold there. Let's use not your deck, and let's not use my deck either. I don't trust that shit. We'll need to borrow one.
Well, don't know what you're accusing old Ballester of, but
Like so many things, dude. Come on.
all the things, please. He'll snap his fingers and have the house bring a deck of cards.
I think, Amrita, you see Cillian coming alive in a way that he hasn't been in a bit. He loves this shit.
You'd see that she's barely drank any of this beer.
And effectively, the way this is going to work is, it'll be a simple single roll. Are you going to try to play tactically or charismatically?
I am
Essentially
cheating.
more.
Or
Yeah.
you cheat? Yeah,
I am cheating.
Nice.
There's not a chance I'm not cheating.
Gotcha.
I took card proficiency, and I'm going to use it, dude.
Charisma
Drum roll,
just means
please.
counting the cards and slipping them under the table.
Cillian cheats by using Reagan.
Nice. Okay. Getting inside information. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That will change up Ballester's tactic a little bit. You see, initially, the first few hands, he was trying to bluff and manipulate and use fake tells to try to insinuate the hand that he might have had. But as he sees that you're not falling for that, he's going to switch to using his intelligence, which is not quite as much as his charisma. And I will have you... Are you going to be trying to shift the deck in your favor at all? Do any sleight of hand, or just use Reigen's perception?
He does some obvious sleight of hand and some actual sleight of hand. Like, he lets himself be caught so that he can get away with something a bit more difficult. Tell me what to roll.
Yeah, go ahead and start with the legit sleight of hand versus Ballister's passive perception.
Come on, dude. Oh, fuck
Classic.
me.
The funny thing is, if you had one more, that would have actually beaten perception.
Yeah. Keep telling me that shit.
Hey, you got a hero point?
I mean, it's a natural one. I can.
So on skills, it's not an automatic failure. So if you were to add a bit to that, like you would still have the effect of the ghost, but you wouldn't necessarily fail.
Yeah, I'll roll my hero point. What I will also roll, however.
I think that's the good
Yes! Oh, finally!
Yes. Oh my gosh.
one. Yeah, so you will be able to augur some of your ghosts in the next few minutes, should the need arise to get a little bit of cognitive information. And now I will have you roll a playing cards with, let's say, dexterity for this, because you are using a bit of sleight of hand with it, versus his, which is going to be with intelligence. I don't have it set up. He is proficient with this, so it'll be a little bit higher than what he rolls. However, I don't know that he can. Within a couple hands, it becomes clear that you have the upper one, and he takes it in stride. All right. Maybe I'm a bit rusty. Maybe the rumors about you are true.
You shouldn't have let me choose the game.
But where's the fun in that? I like a bit of challenge too. Surprised you and I never did any jobs together back in Silof.
You know what? I am too. This seems to fit together, right?
I know you did a few things for me, information that I had gathered, a few paintings, a few spires got climbed. I wasn't unimpressed. And consider me impressed now.
Likewise.
So the Veiled kind of looks around, making sure he's keeping his voice low. There have been rumors around there. A lot of different towns. Hard to know. Cults. But this one specifically. Who's been inducted? Who willing to put on the mask at any moment? It's a bit eerie, honestly. You're familiar with Hollowinge? What's left of Averbrook? Down in Kessig?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Most people think it was just the werewolves. Mondrone and Outpack moved through, tore up the place. Most don't know why. I heard a little rumor from a farmer's son. Got the hell out of that place. Moved his way toward Nephalia. Said his old man was approached by members of a shadowy organization, or Hush Hush. Said they had dealings. They needed favors. It was all enticing, shall we say. A lot of money to be had. A lot of coin thrown around. They had deals, these Veiled, with the Howl Pack. It's a bit of a cover, I think. Seems they were summoning a demon. That demon is supposed to give the werewolves power. But from what I hear, only moments after this demon was brought out of the hills, wherever they crawl up from, on the steps of the Cathedral of St. Raven, lad. That's the story I heard. I can't be sure of nothing. Old Ballister wasn't there, but that's the word. It was a demon, and they destroyed it. Now, what kind of cult summons a demon just to destroy it? Can you even destroy a demon? Would you be sending it back to the hills? That's what I says to myself.
My exact question be. They did something similar with us.
The few survivors that this kid heard from said there was this woman, all decked out regal-like, nice furs, had this veil on her face. It was like the old, back in the day, they used to wear chainmail. It was a chain veil, all very mysterious. Showed up at the last minute, kind of poofed this demon out of existence.
One of her talents. We saw her. I don't think I've ever seen someone as powerful. It's part of the reason why I'm here. It shook me, and I'm trying to do good, whatever that means. Yeah, fool's errand. I know. Hold your fucking words.
Let's get a round of vodka up in here and see if we can change that.
Yes.
This one will be
Wait. I try to slide a vantage shot away
okay.
before he can drink it.
Mm-hmm. That'll do it. Are you trying to drink it yourself or just like tip it so that he's got an empty glass?
No, I drink it myself. Ooh, gotta be quicker than that.
All right. Sticky fingers. Keep that in mind.
Got many
Another one,
compliments.
barmaid.
I drink into my coffers.
What's Amrita doing during all of this? Just observing and listening?
Yeah, and I think being from Kessig, would she have ever heard of those places at all in any way, or I don't know.
Avabrook, certainly. That was like the parish seat. It was effectively the Korsava for Kessig, the main city, the capital. So yeah, I don't know that you've ever visited there, but everyone would have heard, of the capital city. So when it was destroyed, it was a big deal. Now, you know for sure that townships come and go, especially smaller ones, homesteads that are trying to start up. It can be a little bit touch and go early on, and cities do disappear. You've seen the ruins of some of them, but the idea that they would just not be in existence anymore is that size is still pretty noteworthy.
Is that why there's a tree before Pyrian Hanmer that has people hanging from it?
Oh yeah, Inquisition. Wouldn't go down there if I were you, werewolf or not. It's gotten tense in Kessig. They suspect everyone. You notice that hanging tree. Wasn't no silver on those ropes. They just trust you can choke anything out, werewolf alike.
Oh, those bitches. How's your eye for treasure?
It glints. Get a little twinkle there.
That's what I heard. This... Take off my cloak. Or I'd go pick it up from where I
Sure.
hung it when I... Is this anything? It seems to sort of...
A bit of shimmer to it, don't it? Lay it out on the table. He will run one of his black fingernails over it. I mean, it's silk. It's not worth nothing. There might be some properties to it, enchanted things, not really my area of expertise. I'm a magic user.
I just wish you to know as much as possible about me so you can sell it on to the next person.
Keep that in mind.
You've earned it. You've helped me quite a bit. And on honor alone, it is surprising.
I have, haven't you? Now, how
Listen,
are we going to
I
pay
can be
that?
a tradesman.
How so?
I'm willing to listen. Pass something along. As long as it doesn't interfere with my own ethics, though they
The old
are
Ballester is a
low
bit of a collector of information. Don't really disperse it along channels unless it's face to face. I am a collector, however, of other precarious items. There's a job I've been eyeing. Could use some sticky fingers. Should we discuss this in front of the lady?
Anything you can say to me, you can say to her.
Oh, anything. Really?
You know it.
Yeah, tries not to
See, I
bite
haven't
her
come
tongue.
to Henwea specifically just for pleasure. Business has always got to play a role as well. There's a collector. Fine, sharp objects, swords and whatnot. Maybe I've heard of someone who would like one of them on the market when it's not currently. Maybe I want to put it on the market.
Okay. It's been a while since I've done anything like this. I gotta say, these sticky fingers are itching.
Well, I do like to scratch.
Alistair, you are wonderful.
We needn't
Any
go
more
into
info
the
you can give?
details just yet. I need to collect a bit more information before I put together a real crew. but I will keep you in mind.
We will probably be leaving town soon, though we will return this way.
I can make it quick.
I'll be back. This is not the last you've seen of me, Alistair.
I shouldn't hope so.
You're a man of information. Have you seen any group of hunters come this way to Hanware?
Well, it's not uncommon, my lady, to see hunters come through. Everyone's got to eat. Can't always live on pork and beans. Braised brisket. There's other things out in the wild, unless you're thinking something more hazardous.
Hazardous. They were hunting something, but I don't know what.
How long ago? You understand old Ballister's only been in Enware for less than a year, scoping out this job.
Well, when I was last in Silburn, that would have had to have been probably a month ago or two. I'm not sure.
Gonna need a little bit more information than that, lass.
There's a man. He has blonde hair, an archer of some sort. I don't know the people he travels with.
This bloke have a name?
His last name is Dalmar.
What
His first name is
percentile?
Tiberius.
Come on, Alistair.
Delmar. Tiberius. Now, why does that name ring a bell? Maybe I saw it on one of the gate passes. Maybe I saw it crossed out. Now, what would that mean? And you see him rubbing his fingers together when he says, "What would that mean?"
I slide forward 10 gold.
You're the Vistani. Paying for the lady, huh?
I'm nothing but a gentleman.
So it would seem like put his fingers over the stack of coin, slide it his way until they just drop off the edge of the table, presumably into his other hand. Tiberius Delmar. Yeah, it does sound familiar. In fact, I might have one of my contacts get a little information from him. Helps to have people on the inside. The clink, you understand? Your bloke's incarcerated. Seems
What?
he's been naughty.
Well,
The big one. The garrison.
Why?
I wasn't here
Goodness.
when the old incident went down. All I know is he's inside now and he's passing information. Might be trying to get out. Couldn't really say for sure. But then again, who ain't?
I have never tried a prison break.
You want a challenge, and we would be the place to do it.
Where's the garrison?
Oh, you'll find it.
Specifically.
Do a little wandering round. Tail a guard or two, you'll find it.
We can find it.
Not tonight. Need to get back.
That wouldn't do nothing tonight. Not after curfew. Not if you're going to be involving the guards.
They're probably hard asses, huh? Been wondering this from a perspective such as yourself. This must be a terrible place to do business.
Some of the hardest arms have the softest palms.
Oh. That's why my methods weren't working. Okay. You've given us so much. Well,
I don't think I won't expect a bit in return. But I've got a few cogs a turning.
I am your dagger. I'll take a bow.
While that is going on, what's the rest of the party up to?
Thank you for indulging, guys.
Oh, I'm gonna die.
Acrio, you'd seen Lorelei disappear down an alley as you were packing up for the evening, ready to head into the inn, get off the street before the guards enforce their curfew. You're not 100% sure, though you would presume the church has authority to supersede that. You haven't heard anything specifically that would indicate it, so just out of instinct, as the sun is going down, things are getting darker, you would have expected her to return by now, and yet Lorelei has not.
You're gonna fucking roll for this, damn it.
What gave it away?
You looking? It's that look on your face. It's the look
It's
of
the look with
all
the eyebrows
right.
and like his face is just like
It's like your face
I
sets a
feel-
certain way when you're on your bullshit.
Hey, it's fair to leave everything that I decide up to
Or
dice.
maybe, like, decide what he would do yourself.
How
Like
about
Acrio's just taking away the break blocks from the
He's
cart
just
and
like-
just lets it roll
just-
into the alleyway.
Just gonna flip a coin.
no? I rolled an intelligence save. Fuck you.
For
With-
what?
Wouldn't you like to know? Once he gets everything packed up, sun setting, he'll just sit by the front door, leaned up against it, just waiting, hoping people start showing up. Because there's no one here right now except him.
I mean, there are other travelers, but
that's
as
not
far
the
as people you
point.
recognize,
Yeah.
people you
No
recognize,
real
you're looking
people.
around, just like weird.
Not
that
these
you're
basic
Yeah.
ass
all by
bitches,
yourself.
my party, damn it.
Where the fuck's my fucking party?
My kids are out late. So grounded.
How close to sunset is it?
Very
5 minutes? Huh?
15 or so.
Okay.
This time of
Um,
year, it does stay
I don't know
light
how the
later
fuck
into the
the
evening.
sun works. I've been in Stenzia for 20 years.
True.
That is
The
true.
sun is a foreign concept.
Yeah, what
sun
the
is a
fuck
deadly
is...
laser. The sun.
Home by
I
sunset?
don't believe in the sun.
Yeah.
Says the guy with like the sun emblazoned on his shield or something.
Yeah, it's like...
The sun is more
It's like
of
a
a
flat
concept.
earther,
It's a
but
metaphor.
not believing the sun
Yeah.
exists.
It's like, Acro, you don't believe in the sun? You have it engraved on you. It's like, it's a metaphor. It's not literal.
Can I have you roll a con save real quick, Acrio?
Do I need to
Oh, Jesus.
fire of hope myself or human
No, you do not.
determination to not get
Effectively,
sick?
You've been working, started out the day on top of your wagon, working on whatever you were doing, and then on this street corner next to the stables most of the day, maybe took a little walk for a while. But as the evening has come, you realize there's this weird, like, burning sensation on your forehead and the back of your hands, and your skin just feels like redder than it should.
Oh no.
Did Acrio get sick? Did that little shit get me sick? That little fucking shit!
Tristan, it's sunburn.
Oh, it's
Yeah, but would
sunburn.
Acrio know that?
No, he's just panicking.
I know, but I'm telling
He's-
Tristan because Tristan seems fully convinced.
Tristan Attica
Like,
going,
Acrio
I'm
was
just
like,
seeing
I am dying.
dagger just through his chest.
I don't want to take it anymore.
Like Lorelei coming back, it's like, damn.
Damn bitch, you live like this?
Yeah, there. You know what? He does have panic that he is getting sick. He's like, oh, it's cooling down. Why is my head so hot? Oh God! It's like, did I get sick? Was that person sick? Was that person sick? Was the tavern
Like your
keeper sick?
forehead does feel
Oh, fuck.
feverish. but
Yeah,
The skin is hot.
yeah. He's gonna put a pin in that little thing and go look for Lorelei. Just to fill out your bingo for this session.
Don't do it deliberately. It has to be natural. Don't go into it like fucking ruining it.
It's like a list you tick off, right?
Not frantically, but he will be looking quickly for her.
How thirsty was Val? Like how am I gonna like?
Yeah,
am I gonna catch a case of anemia right now?
how much does he like I said, he's trying just to,
Acrio goes down
save,
the
like,
alleyway and
bare
Lorelei is just
minimum,
like
but
shriveled up like a raisin.
how,
I was gonna say Capri Sun.
Yeah, she's just
but
flat.
how much
He's just
how
like,
bad is the thirst, as in like how much is the bare minimum he takes? Is it
I'm gonna
much?
probably say you have to roll a sanity check for that.
Oh,
Yeah, are you
God.
physically able to restrain yourself? You're literally a new
The question.
do
vampire.
it, do it. Can I impose disadvantage on?
Oh, you're
Wow.
fucking dead, Lorelei.
Okay, now this is what I want to know.
Oh shit.
When Val, you've got this small little cut, and Val is drinking from it rather gingerly, but the more he's consuming, the more you feel his teeth start trying to bite at the back of your flesh, Lorelei. And how does she react? How long does she let that go on if she forces him to stop at all.
She is not paying attention to the feeling of like the teeth. She's sort of waiting to sort of feel that cold feeling in the core when like I know it very well personally because like when your blood sugar drops, that's not what she'd know it would be logically, but it's like that like cold, clammy feeling of like, you know, blood volume being out of whack. She's waiting for that to hit before she would stop him.
Mm-hmm. And that hits almost as Val's only got one arm, but it will like clutch around you. You feel almost his fingernails digging into your back as he's like almost trying to bite deeper into you.
You know what? I'm gonna roll for this. I'm gonna roll.
Oh dear Lord!
Weren't you just shouting at Tristan not to do this?
I know. I'm a hypocrite. We know. Oh, what should it? I think it might be. Should I make it wisdom or sanity? Do you think would be more compelling?
This feels
for
more
her?
wisdom to me.
Okay.
Common sense.
Yeah, just like, am I fucking up by doing this, or should I like just, you know? No, Lorelei's very self-sacrificing. I'm not gonna roll for it. She's just letting him do it. She's gonna let him do it.
Oh shit!
I'm not gonna roll for it. I just realized I was like,
I would
let
probably
him.
say, at some point, you draped like the cloak to shield
Yeah.
the both of us, right? Then you would probably see at some point in the, you know, somewhat muffled light, semi-darkness as like dusk is coming on, the remaining eye of Val in the twilight begins to like glow, as it's very visible and pronounced now, having this almost manic look to it.
Lorelei's just gonna clench her eyes shut and grin and bear it.
You feel that cold sensation taking over your body, the pain now of fangs biting into first your hand, then the sleeve of your shirt, then like the sleeve of your gown getting torn, and another bite going in like on the underside of your wrist.
Do I find them like this?
Possibly. I'm gonna have you roll percentile for that.
He saw the which
Like
alleyway.
Acrio immediately loads the shotgun.
I'm finding them.
That's exactly
Yes.
the moment when Acrio
Crack
wanders
the
around the
barrel,
corner.
load the shells.
What you see is definitely Lorelei. You recognize the train of her black gown, the torn and tattered midnight blue of her cloak seems to be sheltering someone. Your initial thought is it looks like a pair of lovers in an alley.
But I imagine as she's getting that colder feeling and the weakness is getting further, the cloak would probably drop as like her arm is like weak arm spaghetti, and the cloak would drop and then you'd see.
Roll initiative.
Okay, so cloak drops. He's just fucking ripping into her arm.
Seemingly.
Yeah, Acrio's just going to run at them full speed and try and kick Val in the head.
You make an unarmed strike attack.
17.
That does connect, yeah.
I'd hope so.
Yeah, if he fucking has a 20 AC now from being a vampire, we got other problems. Yeah, so once he kicks him away with his boot, he puts both his arms on Lorelei as he stares over at Val, and he's like, "Get away from her!"
Does that snap Val out of feeding mode?
Yes, seeing Acrio and this, like, almost like, earlier when you had seen him, his armor was, like, glowing almost in the sun. Though it's gotten darker, there's still a form of, like, shimmer and radiance off of it that hurts your own somewhat glowing eye at this point. And with the blood on your face and dripping down onto your shirt, Val, suddenly you snap back to consciousness almost, and the smell, that metallic smell of blood, hits your nose, and the memories of everything that you had been through associated with that smell before come rushing back in.
Yeah, like immediately his eyes go wide and he begins to like retch, almost like trying to vomit up the blood he just siphoned off of Lorelei, beginning to shake as he is still on the ground, scampers away, very panicked, tries to get away from Lorelei and Acrio, somewhere in the shadows.
How cognizant am I right now?
Fairly.
Yeah.
I mean, you're woozy, a little bit dizzy, but yeah, you're aware of what's happening.
She's gonna reach up with probably her bloodied arm at this point and just like put it on Acrio's arm. Please don't hurt him. It's Val.
Val's a fucking vampire.
I know. Please don't hurt him. I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm gonna be fine.
We need to get you back to the inn now. Here, and he just picks her up and carries her back to the tavern.
First of all, Lorelei, I need you to roll a d4, and Acrio, probably a perception check.
Okay. Is the girlfriend growing fangs?
That's a one.
That's actually good for you because your hit point maximum is only reduced by 1 from this experience, Lorelei.
Hey.
23.
Okay.
Damn,
you
son.
definitely realize, Acrio, as you pick up her somewhat limp frame, very seemingly light and almost too bony at this point, her arm that is bleeding drapes down, and you can see as you're stepping this blood trail that is just following you on the cobblestones.
Val following like like a swift.
With one arm trying to scoop her arm, just holding it, he'll just hold his hand over the wound as he makes his way, and healing word? Yeah. That's the only healing spell I have.
Yep. Is Lorelei actually missing any hit points besides her maximum total?
No.
So then you would have the wounds start to seal closed pretty much entirely from this gentle word whispered by Acrio in a only somewhat panicked voice.
Moderately panicked.
Dumbledore said calmly.
Did you put your arm in the goblet of vampires? Yeah, she's gonna look up at Acrio and be like, please don't hurt Val. I know what it looked like, but
If I don't get to him, the city will.
I wasn't gonna tell anyone. He was sobbing. He hated it. He didn't want to do it, but he needed it. And
Then death is going to be a mercy for him. There's no fixing him. Because he's going to need it again and again and again.
And he can feed for me again if he needs to. I don't care.
But I do.
Can we at least try and take care of him? Even just for a little bit. He's not evil.
Talk about this when the others show up. And silent the rest of the way to the tavern. Drops her off back at her room, make sure she gets into bed, and then just silently.
We don't have
The
rooms.
Traveler's Inn is it's a long rows of beds, that's the question is what is he going to do with this being a fairly public place?
Or a bathroom we can all up in if we need to have a conference.
Just chill in an outhouse. Yeah, the whole party will fit in an outhouse.
I'm guessing there's windows probably between the beds, if not every other bed.
It's pretty much just an open floor plan, rows
No,
of beds next to each other.
I know that, but like,
Oh, you mean on the
windows
exterior of the building?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, basically drop her off and then just window open, just lean up against it and stare out into the night city in silence.
A unit of halberdiers, the city watch, holding a lantern, pass in front of you, just a little ways distant on the other side of the road, paying you no mind as you are technically inside. When this group of halberdier guards move past the alleyway, what's Val doing? How's he processing all of this?
I mean, let's see. Okay. He was having pretty much a meltdown, a mental breakdown, kind of shivering. There is blood. He didn't mean to take this much. He thinks about, what happened to him. The feeling of blood just makes him sick. He tries not to cry, but he's shaking all over. But after a little bit of time, he's managed to at least somewhat calm down, manages to stagger to his feet. He's torn on whether or not to go after Acrio and Lorelei, but probably as he hears the patrol drawn near, he panics and probably first and foremost ducks somewhere to not be spotted, not give himself away. Tries to decide on what to do next.
Can I have you roll a 1d10 plus 5 after curfew?
Sure.
Ooh, after
1d10 plus
curfew.
5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Bigness.
The vampire hunter spawns right in front of you. It's like, I see
teleports
it.
directly behind you.
Well, that works out rather well because you're going to need to roll a stealth check to avoid being spotted by the guards.
Okay.
Just rounds a corner and there's a vampire hunter pissing against a wall.
Does the darkness give me any sort of cover, or do I get
Not for this. No advantage on
Sheet.
these.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Well, this is sleight of hand.
Oh,
What's the
stealth
difference
less.
between his sleight of hand and stealth?
nothing.
Okay.
It's the exact same. I could tack a hero point on top of that because I got 2.
Probably, just in case, man.
Be the
Might need
vampire
help.
hero.
Okay, 14.
Okay. It's not terrible.
So you duck into this little corner, pressing yourself behind some crates and a rain collection barrel in the cleft of this alleyway. Just as you're starting to hear, Sergeant, what's this? Looks like blood. And then immediately a voice say, spread out, look around. Fortunately, a 14 is just enough, literally the exact number you needed.
Shit. That was probably I don't know, does he still breathe? That's still a thing.
Oh
he
yeah,
does?
you're not
Okay.
you're not dead.
Okay, gotcha. Then he's
Vampires and
probably
Innistrad are not, undead things. They are
yeah.
changed, but you're still alive in a way. But you
Yeah,
hear
then
these boots,
he's then he's probably
clomping back
covering
and forth.
his mouth with his one remaining hand to muffle his breathing.
And it's not easy, though. You find your breath is shallow, but it's quick, and you just close your eyes tightly as you can, just hoping that if you can't see them, they can't see you. Almost, as you hear the movements back and forth, you hear a door opening as Acrio, you watch as one of the guards moves to the door of the inn and just immediately bursts in without any regard for people who might be attempting to try to sleep at this hour. It's just after sundown, so moves in. It's like, I need the help of anyone who's in here. We've got blood in the alley. Did anyone
yeah.
see anything?
He goes to the guard. I'm a Cathar, we need to talk outside.
Lorelei's gonna start getting up.
And he looks back at her as he grabs the door with the guard and closes it behind her.
Step back down.
She is near a window, so she could probably hear.
Yeah.
Acrio has left it open, so...
Gonna scupper over to the window and just.
Yeah.
Did you see what happened? Did you not follow up on this?
Okay. There was a vampire in the city. Got to her. She's still alive. She's okay now. I saw it jump over the wall, made its escape into the wilderness.
Immediately when you said there was a vampire within the city, the sergeant went tense, at attention almost. But then when you say he went over the wall, cocks his head ever so slightly. Can I have you make a deception check?
The guards on those walls.
Come on, man.
Boop. Ha! Get fucked!
Oh!
See him reach up and scratch at his chin, look over. You can just barely see the wall and this would be the western gate. Look over it. Over the wall. That's not good. To reinforce the wards. Well done, Cathar. And what was your name? I don't think you're with the local church.
Acrio Revito. I'm Stenzia. Down here on a trip.
Well done. Good work, Acrio Revito.
You as well. Glad somebody found it.
We'll have to keep an eye out for vampires now. That's highly out of the ordinary, especially for Anwir.
Yeah, it's a little more common in Stenzia, so I'm not unfamiliar with the site, but I heard Gavany was better about these kind of things.
Good thing you came from an area such as that, acted quickly, suspect. Knew what to do. Now keep your eyes open. If you see anything, do not hesitate to say something.
I won't. You have a good night. Stay safe.
You as well.
Bids him farewell and goes back inside.
You would hear, as well as Lorelei would hear him conferring with some of the other guard and say, "Get a bucket, slush this around, clean it up."
And he deflates when he like he goes over to his own bed and he just gets down on his knees, puts his elbows on the bed and just rubs his burning temple.
Can I have both of you roll perception checks, please?
Bella's on the seat.
Just like a
oh,
spider
shit.
in the corner.
Yeah.
Oh, Val on the... Oh,
And he's
okay.
looking.
I got something for that.
What is it with things coming in pairs today? Rolls are coming in pairs.
What was that? A 13? So actual perception, that'll be 17.
Okay. Same thing. Both of you, though, Lorelei is still a little bit preoccupied, imagining what must have happened to Val and everything that Acrio has just said, and Acrio also contemplating having just, lied to the authority of the city. Deflating, you both catch the murmurs within this inn, people talking about vampires shouldn't be here. This isn't right. And we're supposed to be safe. And yeah, hopping back over to the River's Rush. How many shots would Amrita indulge in?
As
Probably
many
a few
shots
more.
as Val just took.
From Lorelei.
Yeah.
I
equal
would
amount.
say,
We meet a
I would
heavily
say-
intoxicated Amrita.
oh god, probably yeah. Like she ends up indulging a lot more than she should, like to the point where it was like the last time she had gotten this wasted was probably when she killed Lorelei and she came back. It's like that same level, just letting it just like hit her every wave. I could roll a con save as well, but I feel, yeah, she's probably gonna be wasted either way, no matter what.
Yeah, I won't make you roll if you're intentionally getting drunk. Although,
Yeah.
what is Cillian doing as he's seen this? Initially, she was rather reserved about even having a beer, and then now it's like a switch has been flipped. And you can clearly see, Cillian, that Ballester is indulging this.
Sure, you can hold that.
Give me another. Just give me another.
If you're looking for someone to stop you, I am not that person.
She's just ignoring him, but it like takes it to where she almost probably like drops the glass.
Oh.
Just give me the whole bottle.
Yeah, sure. There you go. Try to enjoy it, though. It's what it's for.
She downs it very quickly.
Yeah.
As that is
not a responsible adult.
as that is happening, Amrita, what's your passive perception?
Let me check. It is 15.
Okay. And you do have advantage on hearing, so that would actually add a +5 to that. So I'm going to send you real quick something that you overhear in your semi-drunken stupor, and you can respond to it however you think she would. From one of the other patrons all the way across the bar, this cavern space, as there's still this raucous music going, dancers, various other performers. There's probably a juggler moving through the the aisles and the tables.
I throw something extra to see if you can catch it.
Roll percentile.
Need to still shine.
Unfortunately, does not catch it, but you see him like knock it off of his elbow, and it like whatever it was kind of flips and lands on one of the other tables and spins for a moment.
She turns probably to that comment that she hears. Does it look like, I don't know, what you'd see in a drunken haze, that these people heard her like say anything or like their conversation? Because at this point she's just looking around everywhere, but specifically over there.
I mean, you don't know that. For that, I'll have you roll investigation is what I'll do.
Okay. You know what? Yeah, I'll just prepare a hero point just because. See if it's crap.
You can start to pick out the voices, though the figures are getting a little bit duplicated, a little hazy in your vision. And there's a moment briefly that you almost hate yourself for, wishing you had the third eye to clarify the things you're seeing. But listening in, you can start to see this group of men playing cards and just gossiping almost.
You want another one? You okay?
What are those men wearing over there? They have any bows and stuff on their bodies? Like, what are they saying?
I don't know. They're sitting over there. Should I want me to? I could have a talk. I could have a talk.
No, I'll be right back. She's gonna get up and like stagger over to that table.
By her side. I am not leaving.
Yeah.
Ballester will sit back, put up one of his boots on the table just to watch this.
No, she's not drunk often. I should.
Oh, please. It's quite a show. I want to see where this goes.
Yeah, I don't know if she would see any clear visions or not. Probably when she gets closer to the table.
I mean, not particularly. Closer up, but still a little bit off.
Oi. What are you talking about here?
Don't see if it's any of your business. Why? What's it to you?
Something about some bloke in a pit. Tries out like she's gonna belch or like throw up.
Gets this disgusted look on his face. Don't think you're local. You wouldn't know anyone. It's just town business.
Try me.
I'll stake one of your games. Here. Lays a gold piece on the table.
Leans in, looks at you. One guy takes the gold piece and bites it just to make sure it's not like fool's gold or something. Make sure it's not a copper that's been like gilded.
I think Cillian does have that on him. So for a moment he's like, oh fuck, I hope I didn't give the wrong one.
But it does appear to be an actual gold piece that you can throw out there. All right. What's the Vistani's interest in this? You both Vistani?
No. Just It's my interest is her interest.
I mean, it's not all even that interesting, just local talk.
Oh, nothing more interesting than local talk for someone at local.
Speaking rather. There was
Yes,
something.
agree.
Podcast kid, what can I say?
Can I have you make a persuasion check? With advantage, because you did bring the coin into it. Yeah, the players will look back and forth at each other, set the cards down as they are not actively playing. Look at Amrita like still a little confused about her whole deal that she's got going on. This incredibly tall, obviously outdoorsy woman who's drunk off her ass at this point, or at least seemingly. No, it's just, kid died recently at a funeral, and, local talk is the midwife might have been getting a little bit from the husband on the side, if you know what I mean.
Is that so? I do love these stories.
I can't blame the bloke. Pearl is quite a looker.
Most midwives are for some reason.
I've never noticed that, but I think you're right. Must be part of the trade, I guess, considering what they deal with.
Yeah, not a man's job, huh?
Thank the angels.
Why are they saying this? You know? Where it came from?
People talk. Just seemed, well, old Dolby here, the mister, the butler, had been coming around the midwife's shop a few times, a little later than anyone would expect. I mean, who could really know for sure? But, things happen after curfew.
Well, this place has proven that, huh?
Place to be.
Why, I thank you for your open-heartedly spoken words. Excuse us. We will not bother you again.
He'll just slide the coin into the pot and nod to you.
Oh, but we go look for a room, eh? Don't think we should be walking the streets in this state.
Oh, I can go outside. Side.
What? Come, let's go. Let's sit by the waterside for a second.
No, I don't want to fall into the water.
I'll keep you from falling.
Taller than you.
Oh, I've noticed.
I drown, I blame you. I can't swim.
Really? I'll teach you someday. Come, let's hit this off. No more potato vodka for you. As we walk past Alistair's thing, I grab my last shot, take it. We will talk again. Thank you for your time.
Oh, I will definitely be in contact.
And I'll open the door a little, look left, look right, see if there's anyone around, and then try to find a spot next to the water that's not as visible.
So you will have to get outside the walls, specifically to make your way to the docks. The walls are
I
patrolled.
misunderstood.
However, you would be able to quickly find that in the dead of night, there's this weird patch of wall where there's no lights on it. You can spot that quickly, and there's not quite a gate, but more like an arched grate that you see people moving in and out of, moving boxes and such. Obviously, less than legal cargo, barrels rolled through it and everything. And you see this going down, and as you hear the grate squeak and clink shut, and the men look back and forth up and down the road, pull their hats low and get the cart moving. You can move that way.
Oh yeah, let's do that. While we're walking, I'll say, all right, so I'm probably going to need to tell you this again tomorrow, but just to keep talking, you remember Django, yeah? The Vistani?
Oh.
I'll assume that is a yes. I talked to him, and we went on our month away. He talked about this clan, werewolves with magic. Now he worked together with the Veiled.
Wolves, magic. What? Hang on. He goes over to the side somewhere to try to just
Okay. Pull her hair back.
Werewolves, magic, what?
Don't think about it too much. It's just pieces are falling into place. I'm quite less concerned. Thank you for coming with me. Glad you're by my side. Are we close enough to spot some more detail?
In terms of what now?
The gate and the people.
Oh, I mean, if you're
smuggling.
trying to, if you're still trying to make it to the docks, as soon as you slip out under this grate, assuming that's where you're going to get to the outside of the walls, it's right onto the docks and the riverside.
Let's find a place to sleep. Think you prefer that from inside?
Ugh.
I basically tried to get here.
You're trying to cross the river?
Oh, I assumed it would be possible without swimming.
So there are, typically during the day, there are ferries that go across.
Okay.
There are, once you're outside the city, as long as you stay quiet, you could make your way down to one of the bridges. They are not directly at the docks, but a little further way down. But if you wander down that way, you can stroll and move across one of these arched wooden bridges across the river.
Mm-hmm. We take our time for that. And along the way, I see one of the geists floating alongside me, and I want to use that fleeting augury to ask it, is there still a Lorelei Fenwick to be found?
I think the reply would be something along the lines of, there's not much of him left. And then just the shape of it shifts and looks toward the city.
A sigh of both fear and relief. And I, after that, instruct Reigen to tell a story because I can't, because we need to be silent.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put on a podcast and we'll try to reach a place.
Geist audible.
While you do that, I need you to roll a d12, please. Amrita, you can hear beyond this ghostly voice in your ears, or maybe it's in your mind, you're not entirely sure where it's coming from. This tale being told in somewhere off in the distance. You're not sure if it's fish splashing against the surface of the water, birds, nocturnal birds maybe, or something else that is disturbing the river more than it is coursing past the city toward the Kirk waterfall some ways down. That's too far for your perception to make out. You know that there is something else out there, but it is far enough away, and even in your current state, help direct away from it instinctually.
That's... senses don't help me entirely.
Pair of you can
Okay,
find
drunk.
a cluster of actual river rushes, these reeds and cattails that have grown up, and find a comfortable spot.
If she pushes me off, I won't, but I think we lie down like with our heads on each other's shoulders and just look at the stars.
She just closes her eyes. Starting to think Lorelei was right.
It tends to be.
No, you don't. A man that's incarcerated. We lived together for. Seems so long ago.
You miss him.
That's why I went to Stenzia to try and find him. I don't think I realized what I wanted from him until it was too late. But when I said I felt free that one time to you, it's because I think it's the first time in my life I've been honest. It's weird. Because I thought after my parents died by living a simple life, and let's be honest, curse of a werewolf and someone with a high intelligence and fire, like the stars in the sky. I'll be angry. I was gonna tell him the truth, but
Why, I'm quite good at dealing with people who are angry. Or at least, we'll go look him up, okay? We know more now. And I think that scares you a little.
That's just one of the reasons.
The chips will fall.
I'm gonna... Fuck it. I was annoyed and avoided you because I thought you wanted nothing to deal with me, which is why I went to the Vistani camp first. By myself. Shadowbridge. But I have no right to be angry, I think. Annoyed? Angry? I don't know. I don't know these emotions. Lorelei said it was jealousy. Jealousy? What is that? I don't know.
It's not an emotion common for me. I got it, though. I think. just now.
Yeah, you
There,
are. Oh, yeah.
there is something a little terrifying about you, you know? Those men at the table, they were fucking terrified. It doesn't scare me. And unfortunately, I tend to be good at hurting. Rein me in, please.
We'll figure it out in the
You
in the
know,
morning.
sometimes people drink to forget. Let tonight be drinking to remember.
Okay. Good night, Cillian.
Good
And
night.
she like puts one arm over him. It's like in her drunken state, probably just kisses him on the forehead and goes to sleep.
Cillian is like a kid who gets sat next to their crush in middle school. And tries to find sleep eventually as well. When Amrita has fallen asleep, he gives a very meaningful look to a probably eyebrows raised dragon. Please, if something comes, warn me.
Apparently, you weren't listening to the story I was just telling. That would have been all the warning you needed, but I'll
I
be up.
never listen to your stories.
If I weren't dead, I'd be wounded.
Good night. Oh, I didn't realize I was just fucked up as well. You know, when someone's like terrible, you kind of forget that you're terrible. And I go to sleep outside the walls.
Does Val ever make his way back to the inn, or does he try to find somewhere on the street to?
Well, first thing, because he's fucking blood. Can he clean that off reasonably well, or is it like still, oh shit, something happened to this guy?
I mean, so once the guards have moved on from their cleaning up this little alley, you are hidden behind this rain collection barrel. You could probably slosh your face off.
Okay.
You don't have a mirror unless you have one in your inventory, maybe, but
Still
red
have
stained you might
reflections.
be, but
Because I'm not sure.
yeah, I mean, what's your level of supply?
I think it's 3. Yes, it's 3. So I don't know. Do I have a mirror?
So you can roll a percentile. You need to get a
Okay.
30 or below, and you may potentially have one in your inventory, just a small mirror.
Nope.
Unfortunately not.
Okay. Then yeah, he's probably just trying to get cleaned up as best as possible. Staring over to the fucking inn, he like half expects to like for Acrio to absolutely kick the shit out of him like the moment he sees him again. But he also for one wants to apologize to Lorelei, and he doesn't want to be alone right now. Pushing himself off of the wall, he will make his way towards the inn and try if he can spot Lorelei and Acrio, and hope Acrio is not beating him up.
Who am I killing?
The night air during the harvest moon season is always a little warmer. As you make your way to the open window left on this traveler's inn, you can peek and just fairly easily make out Lorelei and Acrio in the same area near it, your eyes adjusting incredibly well to the darkness. Above head there is still a moon casting its always orangish hue during this time of year.
Yeah, he would make himself known first and foremost to the both of them. See if like Acrio's like, fuck off. If
He can
that's
whistle like one of the a nightbird sound or something that he had negotiated earlier with like Amrita as like a signal.
I imagine she's restless, both in worrying about Val and also wondering where the fuck Cillian and Amrita are tonight. Because it's like, where the fuck is so like first sign she's like up at the window. How like contrite does he look? Does he look like he's about to like jump through and get me for like a cheese board? Or does he actually look like decently like in control of his faculties?
Val, that's a you question.
I thought it's like because you were like stroking your beard. I'm like, okay.
Roll a
Oh, no, I'm
sanity,
not.
you little bitch.
I'm just
Okay.
waiting.
Okay, gotcha. He looks normal again, like he seems to be himself again. You see like signs of where you probably like missed a few spots washing off the blood, but try to get rid of it as best as possible without like a mirror. This very anxious, hesitant look on his face, very scared. You see he very often glances towards Acrio and seems almost get away if Acrio's approaching him with like hostile intent or anything like that.
Yeah, would we consider Acrio's posture to be threatening?
Acrio's like,
Just like you look at Lorelei, then you look back to Acrio, see he's not there, and you're like, where the fuck did he go?
And then just cut behind Val and you just see Acrio slow motion bringing the hammer down.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, for the moment you look at Acrio, it like he glances at you with disgust and then goes back to just staring at his bed sheets.
Is he still in his armor?
Yeah, probably.
yeah, he would probably make his way into the inn then. Draw
You're
close.
okay with staying outside?
Wow. Cautiously approaching.
As soon as he enters, Acrio is up
Lorelei's also going to stand up and
at the ready.
just
Yeah,
she's
as
gonna
soon as he
reach
sees,
over
like-
and grab Acrio's arm. And
As soon as he sees like Acrio, he stops.
Can have Acrio make a stealth check because he's still wearing his armor. And there are
Crank,
people
crank, crank.
sleeping nearby.
Oh god.
Boop, 3.
Oh,
Oh my fucking god.
What, did you expect a 20 and a 26?
Might have been, you know.
You never know. So as Acrio and Lorelei both get up and Acrio's armor is like pots and pans clanking together in a quiet room, several people start to stir and look around at this incredibly pale, long-haired, starred-up figure that's stepped into the room, and all eyes shift to the Cathar to see how he reacts, determine how they are going to react to this.
Acrio could probably see like Val is this close to running. In what little moonlight comes through the window, would probably see an overwhelming expression of fear on his face as you see tears shimmer in his eyes.
I just want to briefly see how. Okay, I don't think the fear on Lorelei's face would show that well.
Sure.
There is a brief like twitch of anxiety at seeing Val, just because there's that like, I don't quite know. Like I want to trust him, but it's like
It seems too dark in this inn with only the vaguest moonlight shining in through the windows for anyone to really read Lorelei's expression. So they can only see the silhouettes and Val being so pale, glinting in the moonlight, and they're waiting still for the Cathar to react.
Fuck. With moving clockwork, he walks with Lorelei towards the door with Val, and there's nowhere private in this establishment. Okay. Yeah, it just outside, not in here.
Just follows along.
You would hear voices saying, "What's going on? Going out after curfew."
Right outside the door, close it behind them, looks at Lorelei, looks at Val. His face looks like he is 5 seconds from Doomsday.
Favorite band.
how well lit is it out here? Is it even less?
I think the moon is up, so like even if there are no torches, it's probably reasonably.
I mean,
is
it
it
would be
lighter out
considered
here than it
dim
is?
light.
Yeah.
About the same. I mean, it's less shadowy out here on the middle of the street, although obviously you have to watch out for guards moving past again. But it is dim light in this hazy orange radiance.
Looking at Lorelei reaches for like his healer's kit, indicating that he wants to take care of the wounds he inflicted. Acrio already seen to that, making his intent known that he's sorry. You see struggles to open his satchel, for one, because he has one arm, so it's always giving him a hard time, but he's also very much shaking. so it's even more difficult for him. Tries to get it to open, but can't seem to do so, and just gets more desperate.
Val, it's okay. It's okay. I'm all right. You don't have to do anything.
Not knowing if it's just this impulsive reaction, tries to hug Lorelei. He doesn't know if, she'll let him after what he's done, but at this point he's very much crying.
I'm pulling a Tristan. Yeah, she will hug him. It's hesitant and slow, but she will accept a hug.
He very much deflates, clings to Lorelei, trying to... He doesn't really know how to make this all right, but very much tries to convey that this was not his intention. He didn't mean to hurt Lorelei, but he also doesn't really know how to control himself.
Lorelei, she wraps her arm around Val and gently is just patting his head, just letting him cry out, and she's looking over his shoulder at Acrio as she's talking to Val, not to Acrio at this point. Val, I want this to be your decision. I appreciate you can't talk, so we'll have to figure out a way for you to communicate this, but what do you want us to do?
Break away from Lorelei, looking at Acrio, and then back at Lorelei. He doesn't really have a solution for his problem. He just knows that he hurts people without meaning to. He looks at Acrio, his eyes starting to whatever weapon is currently at his disposal.
There's 7.
Man's decked out like the end of Hot Fuzz.
There's a very pained look on his face. Gives Acrio this slight nod, almost as if telling him, if you want to end this, I won't stop you.
I mean, Val couldn't, let's be honest.
That's a shitty out of character predicament.
I'd say at some point he would probably sink to his knees, looking up at the both of them.
Given Acrio's angelic path to which he has devoted himself, how do you think he would respond in that case?
He'll take his hammer, clenching it as he points it at Val. Rather than cut him down, he rests the hammer under his chin and lifts it up a bit.
Tears streaking down Val's face, lip quivering, just a very desperate, hopeless expression on his face as he just can't seem to stop himself from crying.
You have to leave this city. That is the only condition in which Avacyn and the Forge and I have mercy on you. And then, and only then, can we maybe find some cure for your cursed blood. Leave the city, and we will find you. Do not return.
Nodding weakly, he will stagger to his feet and do as, Acrio told him to. He will try to make his way out of the city. Probably the docks were less guarded, right? At least in comparison to the rest of the... Yeah. Then he will make his way towards the waterfront, try to get out the city that way.
As soon as Val is out of earshot, Lorelei starts... She just pulls Acrio closer and starts sobbing into his shoulder.
Yeah, he'll wrap one arm around her, the other hammer, the hammer still in his other hand, as he uses it to tap the door open to the tavern or the inn and pull her back in.
You didn't have to do that.
Either we find a way to fix them, or I killed him where he stood.
What are we going to tell the others?
Somehow I think they're going to be more okay with it than I am.
I'm sorry to have put you in this situation. He came to me and he was desperate.
It is infinitely unfortunate what has happened to him, but now he's desperate. Eventually, he'll just become one of them. In 100 years, he'll just be another vampire that thinks of us like food. And it is so unfortunate that it has happened to him, but unless by some miracle we can undo this, greatest mercy we can give to him is a quick death.
Lorelei will just crawl back into bed and softly weep most of the night until she is able to sleep.
And Avriel will finally unarmor while everyone's probably awake at this point, just staring.
Yeah, most of the other travelers don't exactly know what to make of all of this. Person came in, Cathar and this other woman went out, and then the new person didn't show back up, so it's just this confusing. Some people you even hear whisper like, was that a geist?
Okay, everybody back to sleep. Just passing soul in the night.
Lorelei's dreams are conflicted and a mishmash of confusing imagery. The vampire's bite, which she has experienced before, usually gets the blood flowing, and the dreams are sensual in nature, but given everything else that's happened, it's like the main theme in your dreams, Lorelei, is blood.
I feel like they would start out maybe quite sensual, and then as nightmares tend to, they just start going wrong and just descending into carnage.
And the last thing you envision is this corpse that has been flayed open. You can see the rib cage with the heart beating. You don't even know who this is or what it's supposed to be. And hammer comes down and smashes into the center of it. And that's when you startle awake, Lorelei. And it is morning. You quickly look around and you don't see Cillian or Amrita anywhere.
Is Acrio awake or asleep right now?
Probably still asleep.
Yeah, Lorelei, in the middle of regaining her consciousness, she will sort of, I imagine it's like maybe like arm's length between the beds. Like she probably won't even sit up. She'll just like reach over and just like poke him in the back.
Nah, I gotta fucking roll sanity for this one.
Don't, no, Tristan.
Oh, nat 20.
Hey.
Looks over his shoulder at her, back still turned.
Hair tousled.
Yeah.
The morning light.
Amrita.
And he looks around, seeing all the beds that they occupied still empty. Well, I suppose we'll either run into them or we'll find them in lockup.
Oh, I don't want to have to bail them out of prison.
Be a quite funny story, I'm sure. Cillian's having a grand old time.
Where would we even start? This city's enormous.
I'm not even going to worry about it. And he goes to touch his forehead in pain, and it like he's like, what the fuck is happening to me? And he like panics for a second because there's like dead skin like forming a patch on his forehead. Pulls like a little bit of it off, and he's like, he starts panicking about a sickness or something as he sits up.
And Lorelei knows what sunburn is. Being from Gavin. She hasn't experienced it in a hot minute, but I'm sure she knows.
Hot minute.
I'm gonna slap your sunburn cheek. But yeah, seeing Acrio panic, Lorelei actually, she starts like giggling a little bit.
What? I knew we should have gone to this town with the plague masks.
No, Acrio, that's not what it is at all. Do you not know what that is?
The sickness?
No. It's sunburn.
A what?
Sunburn. When you're out in the sun all day, burns your skin.
Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, even when it's cloudy out, the UV index would get insane in Stenzia. Wait, now that I think about it, Your V index in Stensia is probably crazy, and wouldn't that so
The cloud
No,
cover is
clouds are
magically
big.
induced.
Oh
The,
yeah,
They
the
put
vampires
the
can go out during the day.
yeah.
They got
yeah,
the SPF
yeah.
50 in the clouds.
They put the
Mhm.
SPF 50 in the clouds. Shit.
Chuckling up a storm at this, like this is actually funny.
No, I don't, because everywhere I've ever been is just cloudy.
Not even in like Cathar training? You never got sunburnt then?
No, I went to Nephalia.
I've never been there. I don't know what the sun's like, but
It's rainy and cloudy and miserable. At least in Stensia, it's dry, but there your boots are always soaked. Sunburn.
sunburn. It's okay. You're not sick.
Acrio's like, is it contagious?
And just slaps his forehead against her. Now you have it.
Look, it's gonna suck for a while, but I've probably got some kind of herb lying around that's good for it.
Oh,
I haven't
well,
seen sunburn in years. This is new. I've missed it.
well, you're in luck. You get to fix this and his shoulders and his neck and
the
his
shoulders.
forearms.
Oh, yeah, she's just gonna go to her bag of herbalism shit and just start like pulling out anything that she thinks might soothe the skin.
Cillian is usually sleeping well past when Amrita is awake, but for whatever reason this morning, maybe it's just the hard ground that you've slept on without, the usual campfire and comforts of a Vistani caravan, but he's up before she is. What does he think as he watches her sleep on the riverbank?
Thinks about her leaving. He feels like if he turns away now and stops looking, that she won't be there. And he looks back. And this melancholy but sort of nice thought gets interrupted by the realization that they're outside the walls and they never got signed out. And that seems like a problem.
Maybe not.
So he's like,
sure. Definitely a level of concern. Could I have you roll 1d4 minus 1, please? All right, then.
I shake her awake. This is gonna suck. I'm sorry, but we have to get up.
What? What time is it?
No clue. But we've been gone for a bit, and a hangover is terrible, but we can walk through a city. Ah, it's gonna smell like shit. No.
Wait. Oh, we walked out in nature. Oh, my head. Why did I do that?
Seemed like you needed it.
Ugh.
Come on. Okay. 3, 2, 1, and I lift her up.
Make an athletics.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, probably still at the chair.
Even still, 11. It's enough to hoist her up, and as she starts to tip over, catch her to make sure that she stays on balance.
Right. We need to sort of move. I hope they're not going to make a problem with this at the gate.
Okay. Oh dear.
Yeah. All right. One step in front of the other, and then another. Let's go.
You can see a fair number of people loading up boats, sails being unfurled, ferries being started up, people in rowboats, fishing equipment being loaded as you make your way. You can either take one of the ferries back across or walk back down to the bridge.
I'll take the ferry. Why not?
Like convincing her to take the ferry, man. Like,
Yes. How is Amrita reacting to that? As one of these like flat bottom boats, like it's not even really a boat, but a flotation device, these planks of old weathered wood that you're not sure you trust,
Come
I
on,
can
it's
walk.
quickest.
I can walk. I don't have to. I'm pretty fast at walking.
Okay, fine. Let's do some more moving on our own. That's what I'm looking for right now.
Do you see how much they're rocking as they're going across the water? I'm not gonna trust that.
These men have been doing it for years. It's their job. This is such a bureaucratic mess, we could probably sue them for damages. But yeah, let's take the bridge.
There's literally only trees where I live. There's like streams and creeks. There's no rivers or anything.
The Kirk River is one of the biggest rivers in Innistrad, so yeah, it is imposing.
Oh goodness, did more men playing cards last night? I thought it was just you and that other fellow.
Mm-hmm. Still remember everything we talked about?
Should I roll for that to see what I remember?
Rita just pauses like, yes.
I mean, well, I'm trying to think from actually somebody that's been drunk, you know, so it's like, what would that be?
History.
History? Okay.
Immediate history. Yeah, some of it. It's a little patchy.
Let me catch you up real quick. Failed connected to magic werewolves and something with Hollow Hinge. Your man's incarcerated. And apparently Pearl slept with... There seems to be more to that story. Though, thank you for picking up on that.
Yeah, she doesn't comment on the incarceration thing, but it's like, wait a minute, that Django fellow? Wait.
Yeah.
What? Why? Oh, wait, no. I was avoiding you, that's probably why didn't you tell me sooner, though, that there were likely other...
You want me to answer honestly? I forgot. I talk about a lot of shit. That was one of the stories he told. It was like, yeah, magic werewolves and Keswick, whatever.
You know what? Actually, no. Asking Acrio might be better than to ask you. I was trying to get a... I mean... They won't...
Rygan leans and whispers, I know how it feels.
Look, the librarian lady doesn't like monster hunters, and I guarantee there's probably other people in this town that are possibly the same. She was like that, and I wanted to have books to research a little bit more about werewolves and curses, but she would not allow me access unless someone that's a member of the church was there probably and gave permission. Because I honestly would like to know more, but as far as I'm concerned, really shouldn't be other... Alright. The reason why, for me, why I don't have to instantly turn when it's a full moon is because the man I met when I was younger, that my parents took me to, he gave me something. Something that is how I can create the fire and everything. But it also keeps me from just turning instantly like that, which is why I have a bit more control than most, but that doesn't mean to say that the moon cannot affect me in any way. Does that make sense? I thought you were just a badass.
I mean, does it? As far as any magic is concerned, it makes sense, sure.
It wasn't the longest I've been able to go without turning at all. It was the 4 years I was, in Kessig. It wasn't until a year ago that I even did any of that again, and I'm not drinking all that much again. Nope. This hangover has got my mind fucked.
Wasn't it a little fun, though?
But does she specify what was different about those 4 years in Kessig?
Yeah, you know what, at this point, let's go find the others and we'll continue this conversation later.
I felt like it was special knowledge for me. Yeah. I'm just imagine Lorelei right now. It's probably bad. And you know what? Something else I found out. Val's probably in town. I think he's alive in some way, though. The Geist seemed. We need to find him like now, and we probably need to together. Let's try to get through this gate. I hope they're not assholes.
So your hopes and dreams are not dashed upon the rocks, as the guards do ask for your passes, examine them, and let you through. Being as there are multiple gates, they don't keep track of who comes and goes through which one. As long as you have a legitimate pass, you can get in and out, so.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, coming in from this side, which you had originally entered, the Traveler's Inn is not far, and the plume of smoke coming from the ever-billowing forge cart is a sure sign of its location.
And from the dawn, we arrive again. We bless you with our presence, dear friends.
Out in the streets, voguing in front of the inn. It's like, yo.
Just see Lorelei rubbing leaves on Acrio's face. Like,
Morning.
Lorelei, can I have you make a medicine check?
Okay. Just to see if I
Now
do
you realize
accidentally
it's
rub
poison
poison
ivy.
ivy on his face. Nah, that's 25, baby.
No, you're fine. But as you look at Cillian's approach, something seems off about his skin. It's subtle, and at first you might not have noticed it since his complexion is a little darker, but there's some kind of blotchiness to it, and it's not the paler white that he has in patterns. It's more of it's reminiscent of sunburn. It's reddish, but it's too blotchy to have been from the sun.
As Cillian approaches, Lorelei just looks over, sort of double takes, and immediately is like, don't move.
I'm sorry. Do I look good from this angle?
Have you looked at yourself this morning?
I mean, we were next to water, so a little, but...
You haven't noticed anything new?
Just talk to me. What?
Well, it doesn't look like sunburn, which I would know because Acrio currently has it. You've got...
You look like a tomato.
Stay on task.
Just stares daggers.
You've
And
got
not the friendly kind.
You've got... Where were you two last night?
I'll never tell. No, I went to visit...
You should, because it looks like you've caught... Cillian, it looks like you've caught something. You've got... spotches. Acrio, are you seeing this shit? That she'll, like, point out. It's like, it's right there, and like...
Oh, wait, that's not meant to be the GM. I rolled a 16. Yeah, Acrio, after, like, losing all the tension in his body after thinking that he was sick, now seeing that Lorelei's pointing out actual sickness, he, like his shaking hand grabs at, like, one of the masks that's on the bed and puts it on.
I was feeling a little faint, but that's not out of the norm for me.
Where did you go?
We went to river something. It was an inn. I went to visit an old sort of friend. We got some good information.
There was that noise in the night. There was someone else there, and you yelled or something? Told them to go away.
They did cough, didn't they?
How many of those masks does Acrio have?
Yeah, he is actively handing one to Lorelei.
Yeah, Lorelei is, like, gonna take one.
Currently, I think only the one that he was originally given has these dried flowers and herbs stocked into the beak of it, so
yeah,
you may have to use some of your supplies, Lorelei.
I have a lot,
actually.
so
yeah,
I'll...
I would say probably about 2 GP worth to stock each mask.
Yeah.
How many fucking GP of herbs do you have?
Currently 78.
I
got a lot of shit.
Well,
Nice.
it's a good thing I can deal with an illness. I know where to go. And plus, I think Val's in the city, and he would probably be there anyway. It's where I wanted to look for him. I shouldn't infect you guys. You stay away. I know where to go.
Lorelei turns away, but she starts crying.
In her mask, so nobody can hear her.
Okay, important info. Since Amrita got drunk, that's important info number 1. So, important info number 2. I know more about the Veiled. I'll talk about that later. Important info number 3. That baby they were burying. There's more to that story, and I'll bore you with all this later. Point is, I'm off. Fuck me.
Cillian. We saw Val.
What?
We saw Val.
Where is
Why
he?
tears? Explain those tears now, please.
He's a vampire. I told him to leave the city, that we would find him, but he can't be here. He attacked Lorelei.
He didn't attack me.
He was going to suck you dry.
It is amazing that I can't tell a joke about that now. We will fix him, right? We will cure him. We're going to a waterfall made of magic. If we can turn her back into human, he can be as well. Right? Just send him outside of a city where he can die. Of course. That's the best course of action.
Would you have me keep him here? Among the people where he can feed as he pleases. He may be Val, but he is still a monster now.
Haven't we all proven that we can live in spite of our curses?
Amrita's different. Werewolves are different. Vampires look at us like we're fucking livestock. And in 100 years, you'll think of us the same way. So yes,
I'm dead in 2 anyway.
we will try and fix him.
I shouldn't be here. Amrita, maybe you shouldn't be either. You were a little close.
Yeah, we're probably both just going to have to go see the doctor in town. But there is, Acrio, I wanted to ask a favor of the library. They have books on curses, and I wanted information on some of that, including werewolves, but they only allow Cathars access and members of the church.
Yeah, sure. Particular book, or do you need to be there?
I mean, Cillian's right, if we were both in proximity, I think we're just going to have to both go to... Shit. Hopefully they can help solve something with that, but anything specific relating to maybe werewolves and possibly, his family. Daughters of miasma. Look at something. That's what I was looking for.
I'm not... I can barely read the cover of a book, Amrita. You have to come with me.
I mean, if Amrita can't go, maybe you could take me with you? I know what she's looking for.
Sure.
I'll see what I can find, Amrita.
Please do. All right, we better go try and find a doctor then now, so it doesn't get worse.
They're going to try and dump you in that hell fucking hole on the opposite side of town with the rest of the sick, and they're going to let you expire and die. Just don't let them.
What makes us better than them?
Because I can't fix everybody, but I can fix a few people.
Val could probably help.
Where did he go? I could track him.
I don't know. It was dark when he left. And he didn't attack me, okay? I offered. He came to me desperate. He hated it. He didn't want to do it. When Acrio found us, he was just getting carried away, and he looked like he was going to vomit afterwards. He's not a monster, and I don't care if you think he will be, but he's not.
I haven't a right to judge him about being a monster.
I think I have a pretty good barometer on which people are monsters, considering, I don't know, they tend to like to attack me a lot, but...
Do we want to look for a doctor, or do we want to find Val?
I mean, you said he'll you told him to come find us after we leave. We could probably just head out and he'll look for us. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Cillian, you're the one that's got the sickness. What do you want to do? Find a doctor or find Cillian? Yeah.
You want to fight
yourself?
You want to
Acrio.
fight yourself.
All
Turn
Vistani
inward.
look the same. Wow.
Wow.
Wait, no, I'm not racist. I have a
Dude.
Vistani friend.
You guys are all the
Remember
same
me.
to me. It's like, whoa.
Cancelled.
Whoa.
Well, I still had plans here. I wanted to talk to Pearl, but nothing seems like the right option right now, so you must be among them often. Maybe she's built up something.
You said
Go
you were
to
around
her.
someone who coughed, right? And then that's probably how you got sick?
Yeah.
Lorelei's gonna take... How many masks does Acrio have? Enough for all of us, I'm assuming?
Enough. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
she's
has
gonna
channel divinity to
Yeah,
create
she's gonna-
multiple ones.
Take one and just pack it full of herbs from her supply, and then, like, she's not gonna hand it to Cillian, but she'll, like, slide it towards him, and she'll be like, just put this on. If they coughed, that's probably how people get sick, so put that on, and
Chop.
yeah, so just put on a mask, and that should mitigate something. And
Right.
I have an out of character question or request.
Okay.
With the masks on, can it now not be constitution saves, but medicine checks to see how much of a germaphobe we are?
I mean, you can decide that yourself, but
I'll go find Pearl. It's the one healer I know here.
Oh, I should go with you.
Also, not your best design, and I pull my scarf over it.
Luckily, I didn't design it. You can thank the doctor for that.
Problems on problems.
Lorelei will pack more herbs into another mask and slide it across to Amrita as well.
All right. She takes it.
Looks at Lorelei. Well, while you two do that, I guess we'll continue our little problem from last night. We'll go look for Val.
Okay.
Thank you.
One of us. Why wouldn't we take care of him? The
It's like
definition of take
Acrio's
care
like-
is up to your interpretation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we're gonna go take care of him. It's like, oh, you're gonna heal him. You're gonna
No,
heal
we're gonna
him,
old.
right?
We're not
Like-
gonna take care of him like old Yeller.
It's like,
Oh,
we're
I
gonna
never
heal
read
him.
that book.
Yeah.
It's like, we're gonna heal him. We're gonna cure him.
He won't be a
Won't be a
vampire
vampire
anymore.
Yeah. Hey, if he has no blood, he probably won't be a vampire.
Yep.
given that Lorelei does have, some rudimentary, mostly self-taught herbalism knowledge and medical proficiency, and you are going to be traveling closer to Thraben, would she have any desire to, update herself on what treatments are available for this sickness that Cillian may or may not have contracted?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, if we're... I don't know exactly where she'd go seek that out, per se, but yeah, definitely want to look up as much as possible. It's like, okay, we'll go look for Val. Cillian, if you're going to a doctor, ask him if there are any treatments. And write it down, because I don't trust word of mouth.
That was
I'll
the
write
plan.
it down.
Thank you. I'll see if I can find out anything as well, but yeah. Meet back here?
Yeah.
Before curfew?
Yeah, before curfew this time, you two.
We were pretty badass.
I know. But even badass people have a curfew. Now go.
Stop sounding like my mom.
As Cillian
Yeah.
and Amrita are... is Amrita actually putting on the mask, or she just got it with her just in case?
She will hold on to it just in case, but she doesn't feel funny or anything that she knows of. And she doesn't want to block out any of her senses with other people out and about.
Mm-hmm. Which it would, especially your sense of smell and partially hearing, maybe a little bit. So as you're moving through the streets, Cillian pulls out this, like napkin, it looks like, with an address written on it, and has to kind of convince people to tell him directions, because as soon as you approach with this mask on, there's a little bit of hesitance. But you notice there are more people that you hadn't really taken note of in the streets, with either their collars pulled up high or a kerchief tied across their face. A little few and far between. Most people don't seem to care too much, but there are those who do, and eventually you're able to get directions more specifically where in town to find this midwife's, herbalist's place of business.
Unrelated, but is Cillian still wearing the bracelet?
Mm-hmm. Very prominently.
But yeah, we go to the establishment.
As you turn the corner and walk down this street, and what you can tell is a little bit more of the horror area. The buildings are in a state of a little bit less repair. The wood is weathered harder. The stucco and such that is between them is chipping and flaking in some places on these buildings. You can tell that the chamber pots that have been sloshed on the roads have not yet been cleaned as quickly as some of the more main thoroughfares. There is that stench in the air, and Amrita, you almost tempted to put on the mask just for that, but you quickly spot the address, the location you're going to, because there are a pair of guards with halberds standing to either side of the front door.
Morning.
Morning, lads. I'm here to visit Pearl? Is this the right address?
Move along. Nothing to see here. Go on now. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Well, there obviously is, but if something happened to her, I'm her friend.
That'll be for the inspector to decide, but looks like an apparent suicide. Move along. And that's where we're going to drop the curtain on this week's session.
Oh shit! What the
What
fuck?
does that mean?
Just casual,
I call bullshit right now. That's not what it was.